Okay guys, I'm not terribly thrilled with this either, but my dad is running a little late and asked me to do the opening to his little stupid show here. I guess I'll do it. So, you guys talk about watches? I don't know what that is, so here's your opening.
What is up, guys? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a good week. Sorry it's been such a kind of a long stretch between posts, between uploads. You know, my life's gotten kind of busy, so I'm definitely not disappearing, but the Tuesday uploads are now going to be either Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, maybe Saturday, whenever I actually have the opportunity, so I apologize for that. But there will be uploads each week. Let's see, let's start with a wrist check. So today I'm wearing my 40s Omega. I'll give you a closer look at that in a moment, although people that have subscribed to this channel a long time ago or have been watching this channel, they would know this quite well, because it was actually the first video I ever did, which is kind of terrible, so don't go back and watch it. In fact, don't go back and watch any of them. They're all pretty bad. No, I'm just kidding. So thanks for your patience with the opening. I played around on some apps this week on my phone and discovered that one, and yeah, it's just so stupid I had to use it. So that's my fiance's cat. His name is Leon. He was not okay with doing that opening, but yeah, I was definitely okay with using him for the opening. So anyway, on to today. So I was looking at what I could talk about, and I thought, you know, I picked up a chronograph not too long ago with the chronograph hand, the large chronograph hand, the main chronograph hand not lining up, and there's an easy fix for that. I didn't know until recently that easy fix. I've since been able to use it at my new employment to fix other watches. So I see watches pop up all the time on eBay and places like that, and see them for sale at little shops all the time. And there will be quartz pieces with the chronograph hands that aren't zeroed out, not sitting directly at 12, and not a lot of bidding. There's not a lot of interest at these little shops, and so I'm able to pick them up fairly cheap, and people are able to get them pretty cheap on eBay and stuff like that. And most of the time it's a very, very, very easy fix. If it's a quartz chronograph that's working like it should, but that doesn't line up, there's a little trick to it built into most quartz chronographs. I'm going to use the Formula One, the Tag Heuer Indy 500 edition Formula One I just picked up a few weeks ago to kind of show you guys one variation of how you set that and correct that. Within each quartz chronograph, it's going to be a little different, but the idea is the same. Basically, you take the pushers and use them to realign everything. And so we're going to go through that. And maybe that'll be helpful for you guys if you have one that's not lining up. You don't have to take it to a shop, or if you are thinking about purchasing one but it's not lining up, or you see one that's not lined up in the future for a really low price, maybe you can get a good deal on it. But anyway, let's do that. Let's flip around and take a look at them. See you in a second. Okay, so here's a closer look at the 40s Omega that I'm wearing on a Spidel or Spidel strap. I was told by a viewer that it's not Speedle, it's Spidel or Spidel. So yeah, thank you for that. Pronunciation is not my thing, obviously. So on to today. So I have a somewhat vintage, moderately vintage, couple years old, Formula One Indy 500 limited edition chronograph by Tag Heuer. This one, as you can see, I did this on purpose. I actually purchased it this way and repaired it, and then I've redone this for the purposes of the video. Because I see these all the time, and they're very much marked down by if you find a pawn shop or if you find it from a private seller. A lot of times you'll see the chronograph does not line up. If we start that and have it running, you'll see this is not lined up. This chronograph is running fine. If we go to stop it and reset that, it's not going to work, right? It doesn't set to 12. So what a lot of people will do is they'll run it till it gets to the 12, and then they'll stop it and they'll never reset it because then it's not going to reset right. But then you don't have an accurate reading when you go to set your chronograph. So there's a super easy way to fix this, and actually it's one of the reasons I love quartz chronographs, because it makes it super easy, whereas with a mechanical chronograph it's a little harder to align. But quartz chronographs are going to be all different, but for the purposes of this one, we're going to screw out the screw down crown. Once it's out, we're going to pull it out to the first position, which is the date setting position. And we're going to just hold this top button down, and you're going to see that right subdial. And we're going to advance it slowly till we get it vertical where we want it at that 12, right? Then we're going to take the bottom one, we're going to press it. It's going to do the same thing. I get kind of close, I'm going to stop it and then do it individually. How's that look? It's hard to read on the thing. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now we have that. Time is correct, so I'm going to press that back in. I'm going to go ahead and screw it down. Alright, so let's test that. So we're going to run our chronograph. And I'm just going to run it for a few seconds. This piece was marked down probably a couple of $100, or at least $100 lower than it should have been, due to that problem. And it was a 5-second fix. Actually, it took me about 2 minutes. But it happens a lot, and actually it's one of the repairs, quote unquote, that I see at my shop now. And of course I'll just set it for them. Yeah, it saves you the trouble of a trip to a shop, and it will you know, maybe allow you to find a good deal on a chronograph that doesn't possibly line up if it's a quartz. There again, I've stopped it. We're going to go ahead and reset it with the bottom chronograph pusher. And you see it resets perfectly. So problem solved. So now you have a perfectly functioning chronograph that aligns just perfectly. And again, I don't know if I aligned it perfectly because I can't really see through this screen finder, but viewfinder. But at any rate, that is how you reset the chronograph. Now, I've had others where the top button will set the large chronograph hand and the bottom button will set the subdials. But in this case, it's the top one for the right subdial, bottom one for the center chronograph, and those are the only two settable ones that I know of. But thought that might be helpful to you guys if you bump your quartz chronograph and it no longer lines up, or you know, you find a good deal on one that is not lined up. It's super simple, easy fix, and yeah, then you have a working, functioning, accurate chronograph. So sort of a short update today. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like, please subscribe. I'll do more of these little tutorials in the future. And you just have a great day, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.